Hello, so let's get straight to the point. Here we have an image and we can click this button to see the next image and this button to see the previous image. And also, as you can see, here we have dots, and by clicking one of them, we can see the image that we want. And also, we can see an image in full size. Great. And everything is working here as well. At the same time, our application is responsive, which is great. As you can see, it is responsive. And here we can see an image in full size too. Great. That's it. So let's get started. Now I will open my terminal and write the following command. npm create void at latest dot. The reason I write dot in the end is because I want everything to be installed inside image slider folder. So now let's press enter and wait. Here we need to choose React and then JavaScript. And now we need to write npm install to install all the packages, dependencies and libraries. Now we can say npm run dev, but before doing that, we need to connect Tailwind CSS to our project, and only after that we can write npm run dev. So let's do it. We need to say Tailwind CSS, open their website, get started, framework guides, and void. We can skip the first step because we have already done it. And now we need to copy this command and paste it here. Press enter. Now we need to copy this command and do the same thing. Here we need to copy content. And as you can see, now we have tailwind.config.js file. And inside, we need to change the content. Here it is. And the last thing that we need to do is to copy this and paste it inside index.css. Here we go. And now we can say npm run dev and start our application. Here it is. And this count is working properly. So we can delete app.css because we don't need it. And let's see if Tailwind CSS is connected to our project properly. Let's say hello and apply some styles. BG will be red 400 and text will be blue 400 as well. Failed to resolve import. We need to clear this because we have deleted some files. Yes, everything is working properly and now we are free to go. For now we can delete this count and set count because we don't need it. So let's do the following thing. This div will be the wrapper of this div, and this div should take the full height of the screen. So let's say height screen, and let's change its background color to something like this. This div is a child of this div. So let's say hello. Class name will be width will be 600 pixels, height will be 400 pixels, and background color, let's make it green 400. As we can see, it is right here. But I want to display it in the center. In order to do that, I need to come to its parent and say flex items center and justify center. And here it is. And here, instead of this green box, we will see an image. So let's actually find some images. In order to do that, we need to open Unsplash or any other website that you can come up with, but I personally prefer to use Unsplash. And here we need to find 5 images. So let's take this. We need to copy image address, and here we need to say const images, and each image will have index, and well, actually its index is 0, so it will be 0, and URL will be this URL. Index will be 1. And here we go. So here are our images, and each image has its own index and URL. Okay. And now, instead of displaying all of them, we need to display only one of them at a time. In order to do that, we need to create one more state, current image. Set current image. And by default, it will be 0. So instead of this hello, we need to display an image, and its source will be images at current image dot URL. And let's check. Here it is. Here it is, great. But let's apply some styles to this image so that everything will look better. Let's say width will be full, height will be full, and object cover. Great, it's much better now. And now let's add some border radius so it will look even better. Rounded 20 pixels. But now we can see this green background. We need to remove it. Great. Now it's much better. And now at this point, we need to add arrows. So in order to do that, we need to install React icons. So let's do it. npm install React icons. React icons is a library that lets us get access to lots of cool icons. And now we need to restart our application. So let's say npm run dev. And let's close the old one. Now let's say React icons and search for arrows. Arrow. Let's take this. We just need to copy this and put it here. And the same thing, but here we just need to say forward. Okay. Now we need to place them correctly. In order to do that, we need to define its parent. So let's say that here we want to display this icon. It means that it should have a relative parent. So its its parent should have relative. And let's make its size 30. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, it's right over here, but we need to place it right here, so it'll be centered vertically. In order to do that, we need to say class name, position will be absolute, top will be 50%, left will be 2, transform, translate, great. Now let's see. Great. It's much better. And we need to do the same thing to the other one. Forward. But in this case, instead of left, we need to say right. Great. It is here, but we cannot see it because this side of the image is dark. So in order to prevent this, we can add some background color. So let's say BG white, but with some opacity. And also let's say rounded will be 50%, so it will be completely rounded. And the same thing for this arrow. And now it's much better. So now we need to come up with some logic so that when we click this arrow or this arrow, we need to see either the next image or the previous image. Now we need to create some functions in order to handle these events. So let's say const handle next for the next image. And if current image is equal to images dot length -1, then we want to say set current image to be 0. So I say images dot length -1. So the length of this images array is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Its length is 6. But if I say just images dot length, then at some point I can run into a situation. So if current image is equal to 6, how will I get access to the image that doesn't exist? So let's count. Keep in mind, indexes are 0 based in arrays. So keep in mind that I want to get access to the 6th image. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 6th image simply doesn't exist. So that's why I need to write -1. Because at some point I will definitely be in a situation when I can get access to the last image. So images length 6 -1 will be 5. So I can get access to this last image because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Current image is equal to 5 and I can get access to this. Not only in this function, but in general, if we think about it, if we think about this array, it is possible to get access to this. But if images length, just length, its length is equal to 6, and if current image is equal to 6, we refer to current image here. So if the situation is like this, images, then here we have 6.url, but it doesn't exist. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there is no 6. There is only 5. So that's why we need to say -1, because at some point we can get access to it. It exists, unlike the 6th image. So that's why I write images.length -1, because I can get access to it, but if it was only 6 simply doesn't exist here. Okay? Keep in mind that indexes are zero-based in arrays. That's the idea. I think that everything is clear at this point. If you still can't figure it out, write in the comments and I will try to explain it better. So if current image is equal to images.length -1, we need to say set current image to 0. In all other cases, we just need to say set current image previous plus 1. So what does previous mean at this point? Previous is just a certain state. For example, if we are at this position, we will say, so let's say that current image is equal to 3. So here we have 3. And then we again take this 3 and say plus 1. So current image will be 4. We will be here. And now it is here. It is 4. It is 4 as well. 4 plus 1 will be 5. And current image will be 5. And that's it. So let's create the function for handle previous. So if current image is equal to 0, then we want to say set current image images.length -1. So if current image is equal to 0, so we are here, and a user wants to see the previous image, it simply doesn't exist. So we need to show him the last, this image. And images.length -1 is equal to 5. And we can get access to it. The logic is the same as in the first case. Okay, if current image is equal to 0, we need to say set current image images.length -1. In all other cases, we need to say set current image previous -1. So if we are, for example, here, we will be then here. If we are right now here, when a user clicks, he will see the second image. Okay. Now let's hook these functions to their proper places. So on click, it'll be for handle next, and on click, handle previous. Let's check. Everything is working properly, right? Everything is working properly. Now with this arrow, great. But I think that we need to say that these arrows should be cursor pointer. They should have such a class. So let's add cursor pointer and cursor pointer as well. Now it's much better. So a user knows that he can interact with these images. Okay, great. Now at this point, we want to show the number of images here, okay? The number of images here. And to do that, we again need to go to React icons and search for dot. Let's take this and import it right here. And let's take this as well. Oops. Okay. We have our images and we have these dots. So the idea here is to display these dots right underneath these images, and then when a user clicks one of them, he can see the image that he is clicking. So let's do it. So images are here, and right underneath that, I'm gonna go ahead and create one more div and say images dot map item, and I will create one more div. Okay. So if item.index, don't forget that we have such a property. Here it is, index. And we also have current image. Don't forget about that as well. So if item index is equal to current image, then we want to display this icon. Okay, we want to display this icon. If not, we want to display another icon. Okay, so let's see. Here they are. So if we're here, you can see that these dots are working. So it shows at which image we are, okay? But I want a user to be able to click on these dots, okay? So let's do it. First of all, let's place these dots right under these images. To do that, we need to have a common parent for the first div, which holds all the images, and for the second div, which holds all these dots. So I will just cut it, and I will say div, and here I will say class flex call, and gap will be 2. Here are these dots. So fine. So let's say class name will be flex and justify center. Great. So let's make them bigger. Let's say size will be 28. Size will be 28. Great. It's much better. But let's also add a class name cursor pointer so that a user can interact with them. Cursor pointer. Much better. So now, if I click this image, if I click this dot, I want to see exactly this image. If I click this dot, I want to see exactly this image. In order to do that, I need to say the following thing. I need to say onClick set current image item.index, and the following thing comes here. Here we go. Everything is working properly. Everything is looking great. Everything is beautiful. Just great. Okay. Now, at this point, maybe a user wants to see this image in full size. So we want to make this image in full size whenever a user clicks it. So let's do it. So we need to find our image. So let's say cursor pointer. Okay, but now nothing is happening. For that, to implement that, we need to create one more state. Let's say const open set open, and by default it will be false. It will be false. Okay. So if open is true, if open is true, then we want to display the current image in full size. So when open is true, we want to display the current image. Okay, so here it is, but we need to add some styles. So let's say height will be screen and position will be absolute. And here we can say cursor pointer, we don't need it at this point, and round it as well. So let's say with screen and height full. So when a user clicks on this image, we need to say set open to be true. Let's save and check. So I want to see this image in full size. And here we go, here it is. But looks like there is no way back. And we need to take one more icon. In React icons, let's search for close. So let's take this one. You can just copy and import it here. So here we go. Let's put it here inside of a div. And let's make its size to be 30. And position will be absolute. Top will be 0. Right will be 5. Okay. And we also need some styles to it, like BG white, and rounded will be 50%. And when we click it, we want to say set open to be false. So let's see. Here it is. But let's add some more space from top. Let's say top will be 5. Much better. And also it should have cursor pointer. So let's click it. Great. Let's click this. Great. But I also want to have these arrows when we are in full size. It's very simple. We just need to go ahead and copy these divs, put it here, and that's it. Here we go. And as we can see, everything is working properly. If you find this video at least a little helpful, please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Great. So now let's make our application responsive now. Now if we open DevTools and make the screen smaller, we can see that our application isn't responsive. So if we close it here and make the screen smaller, we can see that it isn't responsive. To fix that, we only need to apply a few styles. So let's do it. Here I will say max width, so it will be responsive. And for the image, I will say aspect video. So it will have this style. So let's save and see. Let's open DevTools and make the screen smaller. As we can see, it is responsive, but let's add some padding. So let's add padding here. And it is responsive. So let's see it in full size. And it is responsive as well. Great. Now it is responsive. Great. But now I want images to spin by themselves without my interaction. I want them spin by themselves. So in order to do that, we need to use effect hook. So let's do it. Use effect. So let's say const interval is equal to set interval. We will call this function. So let's say handle next. And I want it to happen every 3 seconds. So let's say 3000 milliseconds. And then we need to clean up this function. We need to say return clear interval. And here we need to pass interval. And our use effect will depend on current image. So every single time current image changes, this use effect will run. So when we cause handle next, it changes current image. So every 3 seconds, this use effect will run. So let's see. Great. As we can see, every 3 seconds, our images are changing. That's it. And now, if this automatic spinning bothers you or annoys you, you can always come here and delete this piece of code, or you can just comment it out and it will no longer bother you. Okay? And also, there is one important point that is left. We shouldn't forget to add a key property when we map over some elements. It is essential for React to work properly, so let's do not forget to add them. We shouldn't forget to add a key property. So let's say item.index, or we could also say item.url, because as you can see, item.index is unique in every object and item.url is also unique in every object. And if this automatic spinning bothers you or annoys you, you can always come here and delete or comment out this piece of code. I just wanted to show you that it is also possible to do such things with React. I found it cool and I just wanted to show you this feature. Also, we shouldn't forget to add a key property when we map over some elements. It is essential for React to write a key property when we map over some elements. So let's write it as well. So here we can see item.index or item.url because they are both unique in every object of our images array. But I will say item.index here. That's it. That was the last remark that I wanted to make. And now we have done what we wanted. And if you like this video, hit the like button as well as the subscribe button, share it with your friends, and stay tuned for the new upcoming videos. See you later. Bye. Subscribe to my channel and support me. Thank you.